Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all keeping safe and your families are all okay. Indoors still, same old story, but we keep plodding on. Well, I've been going through some archives last week too, as I'm sure all you guys have, just seeing if I can dig up any old frames, see if we can do any extra work on them, you know, use new skills that we perhaps didn't have back then. And I came across a file from my days at RAFC Cranwell. Before I started the sport, I wasn't in the RAF, I worked for Serco, one of the civilian contractors that the RAF brought in when they privatised some years ago now. Cracking job, fantastic job. Every day was different. You'd be doing idents in the studio, you know, blazer on, blazer off, because it was an officer cadets college. So always involved with them. Then your next day you might be doing a physical education with them, you know, PE, jogging around the fields. Next day you could be following one of the RAF officers out of RAF camp and going to local schools, all sorts of jobs. But some of the best jobs were when I managed to get flying. I was really keen on flying, and some of the other guys in the section, I think there was 4 of us at the time, they weren't too keen, so I always took up on the flying jobs. And I found a couple of files from my days there when I went up flying, and unfortunately they're all low res files, but I've managed to make the best of them. I've been asked quite a lot lately how I started my career, has it always been sport? So I just thought I'd show you guys a few frames from when I went flying, a couple of really enjoyable jobs. Right, let's jump into the laptop and have a look. Crikey, I did chuckle when I came across this photo. This was when I was sent for a 2-week course to RAF Cosford, where they do the photography courses. Obviously, I'm on my own there. Only one without a berry, because I was the only civilian there, but good 2 weeks that was. Right, here we go. Making my way out to the aircraft. We were flying in a Tucano, which is the RAF's fast jet trainer. Nippy little aircraft, but obviously this was my first ever flight, I think, so just come out the brief, how to eject out the seat and all that, trying to remember all that as well as all the photography and everything. A bit nerve-wracking, but yeah, just making our way out now with Wes, the pilot, cracking chap. Just getting into the seat now, working out which strap goes where, trying to remember what I just learnt in the brief, getting the face mask on here. I think there's some nerves in them eyes. Getting the visor all sorted out and work, because it's a double visor on them helmets, so you can have one visor, clear visor, and then obviously if the sun came out you can put the black visor down. So just trying to work out how that all came together on the helmet. Now then, this is the I think this was a D2X. Back then the RF were, I think they're still on Nikon now, we've got a Nikon contract, but yeah, I was just getting the D2X sorted out here by the looks of it. Yeah, just taking a quick frame or two of what was around me, just making sure everything's working okay. Obviously no room for any spares. That's it, cockpit's down. Just obviously looking at my camera just to see what I've just taken to make sure all the settings are correct. And then taxiing out, giving the guys the thumbs up. Here we are, quick selfie, what a poser. But that mist that you can see there, that's 100% oxygen being pumped into the canopy just to get me cool, I think. Had a bit of a sweat on. And there we are, lift off. Pairs takeoff, which was quite good to photograph. And then it was just a case of doing a quick circuit, and then this was the aim of the photo flight on this particular day, to photograph the College Hall Officers' Mess. And as you can see just down there, there's 4 flights of officer cadets, obviously rehearsing for their passing out parade, which was probably later on that week, I presume. And then after we'd done a few circuits of Cranwell and got various angles of the College Hall Officers' Mess, we then went for a quick circuit round Lincolnshire and got some nice scenic images. This one was probably one of my favourites, just as we're circuiting round. And that was that job. It was a good job, that was. That was my first flight in a Tucano. Don't think the sick bag came out, but I can't remember now, but I know I felt a bit queasy because you're up and down all the time and you're looking through the lens and it didn't make your tummy churn a bit, but I think I got away with it that time. But on to what was probably my best job while I was at RAF Cranwell, and that was documenting the Queen's birthday flypast. I was so lucky to get invited up into one of the King Airs, one of the I think they're pilot training aircraft at the time. And yeah, there was we were to join up with a Hercules, and then there was 2 King Airs and then 2 Dominies. Also, I think they were at the time, the Dominies, they've retired now, but the Dominies were navigation trainers, I believe, jets. So yeah, so we were first to take off. But anyway, we'll have a look now and I'll show you. But this is the brief going on. The guys just chatting about where they're going to fly and all that, getting the maps out, going over the maps and looking at the routes. Quite privileged to be sat in there. And then taxied out to the runway, and then just holding at the edge of the runway, ready to take off one by one. Here we are, we're in the air now, over the Lincolnshire countryside, just flying in close formation. I think we were waiting for the Dominies at this point to join up with us. Here's a bit of video here, wobbly bit of video. Not the best quality, as you can see. I mean, this is going back to 2007, I think. So I think I had an iPhone 4 then, so I just put it onto airplane mode and shot some footage on the iPhone 4, but gives you an example of how bumpy it is.
She's basically coming head to head here.
Oh, there we are. Here's the Dominies that have just joined us for the formation. I think they took off after us, obviously, and then come and caught us up because they were. You can see the angle of his nose there. He's a lot faster than we were, so I think he's as slow as he can go there, nearly. That's a nice picture of the both of them to our left. This is just before we met up with the Hercules, and there we go, we're just joining up with the Hercules now. I think the next frame he'll be a bit closer to us, to the cockpit. Yep, in tight formation now, just getting everyone neat and tidy. Oh, this was quite a nice frame. You can't see the Dominies in this frame, but to the back there, in the background, is Imperial War Museum Duxford, so we did a circuit over there. I think the Dominies had joined us, and then we did a circuit over Duxford, and then a right-hand turn to join up with. We were second in line of the flypast. I think the flypast was 20 mile long in mile segments, and we were number 2 in the line, and in front of us was the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight, which was a great privilege to look out the cockpit and see them guys in front of us as we went over London. But I think just after this we joined up with the Lancaster and the Spitfire and Hurricanes. Well, this next bit of video is from the rehearsal. I think we flew the rehearsal on the Thursday and flew over, I can't think where we flew, I think we flew over RAF Waddington actually in the formation of 20 mile long aircraft. But yeah, this is a little bit of footage as we flew over the countryside. And this is 2 or 3 mile out now of London, just straightening up, ready. A bit more of a view from the cockpit of the Hercules there. Again, you can see just how much turbulence there was. These guys do fly fantastically well to keep in formation. And then there we are, there's the city underneath the Hercules nose there. And then we've got the Tower Bridge there with HMS Belfast on the Thames. Probably a mile out now from the Mall. And then just like that, the guys up front shouted me, "Come on Mark, get to the front, here's your chance to get the Mall and Buckingham Palace." So it was, I ran to the front of the cockpit quick, literally snapped away and then ran back. But quite happy with this frame, so it's nothing special. It was so hazy, I mean I've really had to bring this out in Photoshop, but really hazy day it was, but made the best of it. I say it's a shame that these are low-res images, but you can see Buckingham Palace there and everyone on the Mall. Not the best footage this, but I think it was off the ITV News when I got back, I think. It's not a special frame really to look at, but great memories. This is, I think we've just flown over Buckingham Palace, and this is the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight as they're turning right and heading back home. I just managed to catch them out the side window of the cockpit, and in the foreground here is the pilot, and that's his glasses you can see there. But yeah, quite a nice frame that, memory-wise, just to see the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight flying away from us. Ah, yeah, and then once we turned around and was heading home, I looked out the window and crikey, there's Wembley. So that was quite a good photograph to get. Again, you can see how I've had to bring out all the colours and that. It was so hazy that day, which was such a shame. But yeah, that's Wembley as we were flying back home then. And then yeah, landed, and I got the chaps to have a bit of a handshake. It was quite a special day for them too, obviously. I don't think either of them had flown over London before, so yeah, great day all in all. And then just a quick group shot outside one of the King Airs, just as a bit of a momentum for them. Job's a good one. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Such a privileged position I had then. You know, flying over Buckingham Palace, you just can't really beat that, and it's a memory that will always live long with me. So really enjoyed my time there. But as you do, you move on, and the grass isn't always greener on the other side, but you move on anyway, and you change your careers and bits and bobs, and obviously now find myself in sport and absolutely love it, so no regrets there. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. It'd be great if you could give it a thumbs up. Oh, and leave any comments below, any questions or anything. It's great to hear from you guys, get a bit of discussion going. I love that, so that's great, and thanks ever so much for your support. Channel's growing nicely now, so brilliant. So anyway, give it a thumbs up. Be great if you could hit the subscribe button. Catch up again soon.